Hey everyone, so this is Candace. Welcome back to my channel. A little switch up today. I am recording this on Zoom, which is why it's a little kind of grainy. But I felt compelled to make this video because I am applying to some programs and I'm using Interfolio, and I think it's like incredibly difficult to understand what the heck Interfolio is, how it works, what you need to do. And it's like I couldn't find anyone to explain it. So I was like, maybe I'll do the best that I can with explaining it. And so I'll probably kind of chop this up into different sections to try to kind of get an answer. So basically, Interfolio is a dossier service. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly because I've never heard anyone say that word before. I've only read it, so hopefully I said it right. Which it's like kind of this digital courier, right? So it's basically helping you to take documents and it's delivering documents for you, essentially. A lot of people use it for letters of recommendation. So you might be applying to fellowships, colleges, programs, like whatever the case might be. And we all know, like if you're applying to, like a college, like grad school, anything like that, you might be applying, let's say you're applying to 10 programs and you ask someone to write your letter of recommendation and you want to use their letter for all 10 programs. Because a lot of systems, it's not the same as like a common app that you use at the undergraduate level where like everyone just everything goes into one system and you're done. If you're applying to 10 different schools, 10 different programs, they're all going to have their own application systems where you are requesting your recommender to upload. And so that means if you're applying to these 10 places, your letter writer has to upload their letter 10 different times. And because asking for recommendations is already like a super awkward thing, and like everyone's like, I'm so sorry, I'm asking you this, blah, blah, blah. Who wants to make someone upload something 10 times? And for some people, it might be more than that, right? So basically what Interfolio does is it allows your letter writer to just submit into this one system, and then your letter is there, it exists in that system, and you can just submit that letter as many times as you need to whoever you need to from Interfolio. Keep in mind, there are some programs, some institutions, some systems that do not take Interfolio. So in that case, like in my situation, I'm applying to 10 different places, and 3 of those places, maybe 4, 3 or 4 of those places do not accept Interfolio. So like my letter writers are still going to have to submit like a couple of times. But the vast majority of them thankfully accept Interfolio. And so that significantly cuts down the time, the labor of uploading to all these different links that my letter writers have to do. That's the quick summary. So that being said, I just want to walk you through a couple of things of what like the system looks like. I'm going to share my screen. So when you go to Interfolio, interfolio.com. So this is what it looks like. There's not a lot on the website. I'm sure there's instructions up here, but I tried to find them and I was like, I don't have time. It's very difficult. Interfolio in itself is free. Like you can create an account, like put stuff in it and write letters and do a whole bunch of stuff. But of course you're using Interfolio because you want them to send your letters, to send your documents places. And that is the dossier service in a nutshell, and that you have to pay for. You pay $48 and you can have them submit letters on your behalf for an entire year. I think there might be levels to it. When I'm in my system, I feel like it says that like I can send up to like 50 items before they like ask me to, I guess, upgrade or something. I don't know the specifics of that. I just know that for the purposes that you're probably using it for, if you're watching this video, you will have to pay $48 for the year for the dossier service to actually work. But to like log in and see what Interfolio is all about and all of that stuff, good stuff, that part is free. So if you come here and you say log in, obviously if you don't have an account, you're going to create an account. When I created my account, I just did it with Google because Google basically runs my life and it's like easy. So you can sign in with Google or whatever you're just going to create an account if it's your first time and you'll sign in. So I'm just going to sign in. So you can see here, if we look at the top right hand side of the screen where it says Candace Hallows, I can see my account settings, I can have contacts and all that stuff. It asks you to create a profile, which is what you see here. So it has my name and it has my alma mater, like my institution. So there's a bunch of stuff down here, like a quick start guide and a whole bunch of things that again are kind of confusing. But there's three main sections that you'll see in the middle. It's deliveries, letters of recommendation, and letters to write. I don't have any letters to write because I'm not writing letters for anyone. I'm asking people to write letters for me. So it's telling me right now, it's kind of giving me an update that one of the letters I've requested has not been received yet, but I don't have any letters that have any issues with them. And I don't have any deliveries in progress right now. If you look on the left-hand side of the screen, there's deliveries, letters, materials, collections, and shared with me. So again, deliveries is the same, letters. I'm going to go to materials first because I think that's kind of interesting and sort of important. So right here with materials, all of these are things that I have inputted. So a lot of times if you're asking for a letter, like you're going to want to give someone like maybe your resume or like your work samples or your statement of purpose or something, there's usually information that you're providing the person to help them write this letter. And so Interfolio has a section where materials where you can upload things that you want people to have access to. So as you can see, like I have a version of my personal statement, a writing sample, a video, my website where you can see like my film reel, and I have my my CV in here. So like if I click it, you can like come down and you would like, someone can look at it, they can download it. I'm gonna see if I can come out of this. Oh boy. Sorry about that. Same thing, like they can see the video. Oh, well, they have the URL to the YouTube video. So that's just a good place where you might want to start when you first come into Interfolio. You don't have to, like, if you just want to email personally and say like, here's my resume and stuff, you can do that. But I think it's kind of nice because if you put all of these relevant materials in here, and I'll show you in a second, you can just include them in your request for a recommendation. So all of this is in here. You'll also see here that I have some recommendations, and as you're receiving letters of recommendation, that also goes into your materials. So all of this is in the materials. If you click add files, that's where you can go in, you can upload files, you can add videos, you can add web pages. Let me upload something really quickly. I'm just gonna like randomly upload a document on my computer. You can categorize it obviously as something, you know, there's a lot of different options here. And you would just say add and it would pop up there. So I'm going to cancel this because I'm not going to do that. Yes, I want to cancel. Okay. So then you can actually request a recommendation. And so that's what most people are going to do. You're going to request the recommendation. Whether you want it by email or paper, most people are going to say by email. You can add a contact. So I would put the person's name in here, Jane Doe, you@gmail.com. And you can add that contact. You're going to want to do that. So once you've added the contact, and you can come down and you can, you know, select that person from the drop down menu of all the people that you've requested that you have in your system. So you would enter the person's name, which is going to pop up here. And so there's already a tag for what the document title is going to be. The document title is going to say recommendation from the person's name. You can set your own due date for when it's due. So let's say I want this recommendation to be due January 1st. I can put that in there. And then what type of recommendation? If you just want a general recommendation that you can use for anything, or if you want something specific, like, you know, you might say, I'm applying to grad school, I just need a general recommendation that I can send to any school. Or you might say specific, I'm applying to you know, a Fulbright fellowship, you know, I specifically want you to write to that. So you can choose that. If you want to put a description, if you want to link to the website of the school or the program, if you want to give a description of what I'm applying to medical schools or something like that, you can do those things. And then they just give you a generic message here, but you can type in here and you can personalize this. And then this is why I mentioned that you might want to use the materials first if you want to, because you can add supporting materials. So I can go to add materials and I can select any of these things that I uploaded. I can select all of them. Maybe I just want this person to have my CV and my personal statement. I can add it, and all of that is going to show up. And then you can preview the request. And so this is what they're going to receive. They're going to get an email from Interfolio, and it's going to say that, you know, your name has requested a confidential letter of recommendation. There's going to be a link where they can upload it when they're done. We've asked that this be completed by January 1st. And then this is that message that you're seeing here. So that's it. And when you're ready and you're like, this is cool, you're just going to click send request, and that's going to notify your letter writer that you want them to submit a letter for you through Interfolio. So that's really all that you're going to do from the beginning. Once you start getting letters and you're like, oh my gosh, I got a letter. I'm going to show you really quickly. I'm going to go to my email. I might have to block some of this stuff out because there's probably personal things in here, but we'll make it work. So I'm going to go back to Interfolio. So when someone has uploaded a letter and it's ready, Interfolio is going to send you, the applicant, a letter to say that your letter is ready for you. So that lets you know that like the letter has arrived. Okay, I had to do a quick, I had to quickly change locations. So as you can see, when someone uploads a letter for you, you're going to get an email that's like, hey, your letter is here and it's ready. So when you go into letters, as you can see, there's your own letters and letters that you have to write. So this is like if someone asked you to write a letter, it would show up here. So when you go to my letters of recommendation, you'll see everything. This is kind of cool because I have 2 letters that have already been submitted and one that has not been submitted yet that I requested. So you'll get to see kind of the difference. So you can see here what time it was completed, that it's confidential, obviously. And when I go to view details, I'm going to click this first one. It lets me know the document is confidential. And they did a quality check. So they wanted to make sure that the letter is about me, which it is, that it is a letter of recommendation, that it's on official letterhead. There's no signature on this one, and the writer's name is present. And so it's just kind of there to let you know that all of that works. Something that's really, really important that will show up when the letter has been uploaded is what's called the document email. So you want to make sure you're clicking this and you're going here. This document email is like the email address that is attached to this particular letter, like that actual document. It is always send dot the last name of the letter writer dot this code that's generated for the document at interfolio.com. So one thing that there's 2 things that you can do when you are ready for Interfolio to send the letter. Let's say I'm applying, you know, to ABC University. There's a couple of things that I can do. I can come in here to Interfolio and request within this portal, and I'm going to show you this in a second, that Interfolio sends this letter to ABC University. Or as I'm applying to ABC University and I'm filling out the application, I get to the part where they say, hey, I need a letter of recommendation, where I would typically put my recommender's email address. I'm going to put that email address instead. And so what happens is when I am applying to something and I put the name of my recommender and then I use the document email instead of the personal email, what happens is the system sends an email to say, hey, we need your letter of recommendation. And instead of sending this to my recommender's personal email and them having to fish through and upload again, that request is going to get sent straight to Interfolio, and Interfolio is going to know that ABC University is requesting this document, and they're going to take it and upload it for me. I don't have to upload it. My recommender doesn't have to upload it. And that's the end of it. And typically that's what you'll do. So that's what it means for Interfolio to upload letters to an online application system. And so typically that works for any school that takes Interfolio, and it's super easy. The second way that you can, and I'll show you really quickly. And once that happens, you're going to get another email, and I'll show you if I can find this. Hold on. Okay, here. So like this is the email that you're going to get. So Interfolio says, we received a letter request from this university and we're working, we should have it uploaded in 1 to 3 days. So you're going to get that that email at some point. If you come over here to deliveries, okay, all of these have been sent, but if that's happening, you'll get the status that says that it's preparing to send. And it'll stay that way until it's done. You'll get another email once it's been uploaded, and then you can come in here into deliveries and you'll see that the letter has been uploaded. So you can review any of these and you'll see which letter has been uploaded, and there's a receipt. It tells you what time it was uploaded. And you can come through here. And so as you can see, all of these letters I've already had submitted to these universities. The other way that you can schedule a delivery, if you go to delivery, I can say new delivery, and you can choose to have it delivered by email, mail, or confidential letter upload. The other way you can do it, sometimes universities will say, yeah, we accept Interfolio, have Interfolio send it to X, Y, and Z email address. So you would go to email and you would put the name of the institution, ABC University. You put the email address that the institution gave you. So let's say it's admissions at ABC. You would put the name of the person. Let's say they gave me a name, probably an administrator. The email subject is going to be letter of, let's just say, for myself. And you're going to say continue. And then they're going to say, all right, Interfolio is like, what are we sending? And I would say, I'm sending the recommendation from whichever recommendation. I'm going to add that. You can upload as many recommendations that are in here. You're going to review, you can review the delivery, or you can say continue and you can confirm it. That's the other way that you can tell Interfolio to send a letter to the institution. One last thing that I kind of did on my own, as you can see here, this is a delivery in progress. So it's saying I started this delivery, but I didn't finish it. That's a really nice feature. I'm going to delete this because I just made this up. One more thing that I think is a little bit of a hack around, and so we'll see. So one of the institutions, I have a letter that's here in Interfolio that I want them to receive. My letter writer has not completed it yet. That's the one letter that was here that's requested that hasn't been, what's the word? That hasn't been submitted yet. What I did was when I completed the application, like for this school, for that recommender, I put their name in, and for the email, I put in send dot their last name at interfolio.com. Again, that is the tag style for the document emails. So I knew that's what her letter was going to be, but obviously I don't have the code for the actual document because she hasn't uploaded the document yet. So I just typed in send dot her email address at interfolio.com. I just thought it would be a nice placeholder so that I could just go ahead and submit the application. But what ended up happening was that actually worked in Interfolio. It tagged Interfolio. And so that's why this delivery here is preparing to send, because it's saying that they are sending this letter of recommendation. But they're preparing to do it because the letter isn't there yet. So once that letter gets uploaded to Interfolio and it's been quality checked, they will go ahead and complete that delivery. So I think that's really important. I'm going to stop my share because that's something that I don't think a lot of people know, and I just kind of tried it and happened on it. But yeah, if you are submitting something through Interfolio and you're submitting obviously before your recommender completes their letter, you can use the send dot last name at interfolio.com tag, and that's going to go ahead and trigger that delivery, even though they haven't completed the letter yet. And I think that's just something that's really important, and that can be super helpful to everyone who's trying to kind of get around, how to complete that recommender email section when you're applying for things. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm sure that there are more complex questions and situations that I have not encountered or thought of, because I was trying to just make this kind of quick. But hopefully this was really helpful. I wish I had something like this because this was a chaotic mess trying to figure out. So if you're using Interfolio, like I said, I hope this was really helpful. If you have more tips that you think people should know, be sure to post them in the comments. If you have questions, post them in the comments and I'll try to answer them. And let me know how your experiences go. I wish you the best of luck for whatever you are applying for, or whatever reason you might be using Interfolio. It really is a really great, helpful system. It's just a little bit of a learning curve, and I think they could have some easier instructional videos. But in the meantime, hopefully this will take place of it for you. So I hope you all have a fantastic day. Like I said, good luck on your applications. And for anyone who is a subscriber or a new subscriber, I will see you in the next video.